I got a little bit of a drizzle today. I cut this section out for the jet tunnel, but I realized I'm probably gonna have to cut it back to here. So we got this floor brace here, and then this runner and that runner. I'm probably gonna have to cut them down, which I really didn't want to do, but just with this angle that this hole slopes up, doesn't come up high enough to clear that. So we're probably gonna have to get the grinder, and that's gonna be fun. Taking this ride plate off to make fitting it on the back of the boat a little easier. The plan is to put it back on at the end. Here's our speedometer. I guess the screws weren't holding into anything there. I really don't need that. Probably just cut the wire. So yeah, we got one of these grates broken off, but I'm not too worried about that right now. The impeller looks decent. There's a little scuffing on the wear ring, nothing major. Should be good to run it like that. I could always upgrade, replace parts in the future, but it looks good for now. Alright, got the grinder with the diamond cutting wheel and a bottle of water with the hole poked in the top to keep it cool. If you don't keep water on it, it'll melt the aluminum and gum up the cutting surface. You can see there's a little bit in there from the last thing I cut. This is the not fun part, but we've got to go from right here all the way back and just cut it down almost flush. It's the same thing I did to that boat, except those runners are a lot lighter duty, and they were a pain to cut. These are thicker and stouter. It's not going to be fun, but we got to do it. Alright, cut a slit here, cut through these two corner braces. Gotta let that water drain out, clean out the inside of this boat. Alright, we got it hosed out, cleaned up pretty good, ready to do some measurements. Trace some lines out, cut the bottom out, cut the back out, and make this thing fit in there. Got this last piece trimmed off. Stops right in front of the motor mounts, because that's all the room we got to fit it back here. So it should come up almost to right there. And a little bit of the back tunnel is gonna stick out just about maybe that far. All right, I've got this part traced out, 8 inches wide from here to the back, and then it tapers down to 6 inches at the front. That's to account for this little V on the front. All right, we got everything traced out, drilled out the rivets on the drain plug. All right, drain plug's out. All right. Got to cut out just a big enough spot on the back for the jet pump to fit through, so we can slide it back and then trace the tunnel out. It is flexy now. Once we get 40 bolts or whatever it takes to bolt the jet ski bottom in, this fiberglass is a lot more rigid and we'll hold it together. All right, I got a couple of places marked out here in the front. We're gonna drill holes here on these marks, 1.25 inches, and then cut to the holes. The holes will keep the cuts from developing into cracks, which could spread out and make some really big issues. Same thing here where the bottom starts to taper. That'll allow these to be two separate flaps, more or less, that will have some room for flex once the weight of the tunnel sits down on them. All right, we need an approximate width here. 9 inches wide, so we can fit the tunnel in. We're gonna go try about there, about 9 inches tall. So we need a 9 inch by 9 inch square. Before I go and fit the ski bottom in here, since it is more of a V on the front, I'm gonna try to just put a little bit of bend into this. Not much. Just help it to go in a little smoother. Ultimately, the bolts will tighten everything down, and that's where it will take its final shape. But it doesn't hurt to give it a little helping hand up front here where there is more of a V. It's not much, but that'll be a big help. So obviously it's not slid back all the way because we haven't cut it out for that tunnel yet. So this front end is sitting up on top of the floor. I just need to make sure the back end is centered perfectly before I trace this tunnel out. We are gonna have to make a little cutout right here for this exhaust pipe because it sticks back a little bit. Everything looks pretty well centered up here. About as close as it needs to be. It's a little bit crooked. We need to make sure it's tilted a little to the left here. We need to make sure it's straight before we cut this. All right, we got it propped up with this old geode I had laying around. Everything looks pretty level enough for me to trace this out and cut it. Okay. Everything's decently lined up where we need to cut. Kind of eyeballed it. I don't have to do this cutout. I could just get rid of this exhaust tip and get a piece of pipe, like flex pipe, and just run it straight out the back. But if I do that, I'm cutting a hole for that anyways. Not only would I have to cut out another hole for that, I would also have to patch the 2 holes inside the tunnel. So it seemed a little more straightforward just to do a cutout for this, because it's going to stick out maybe about that much. Okay, we got it to fit. I need to mark a couple spots that need filed out so it goes in smoother. Once we have the sealant down, I only get one try to put this in so I don't smear the sealant everywhere. Mark, this needs to come out a little bit. This needs to come out a little bit. And down here's a little tight. And over here I cut a little too much. Probably just gonna end up putting a plate over that. Yeah, exhaust didn't stick out as far as I thought it would. We're lined up here. Down here looks pretty good. We're gonna have to do a skid plate. Everything looks pretty good so far. All right, time to run to the store again. We need some aluminum C-channel to fill this gap, and we're gonna rivet it. I'll probably need to buy some longer rivets to get through this fiberglass. Everything will be sealed in between with the 5200, but we need to fill those big gaps. That's too much for the sealant to fill. I'm gonna put a plate over that. I shouldn't have cut it, no big deal. Next, I'll go ahead and drill the first 2 holes up front there and tighten them down with 2 bolts just to hold that in place while we get everything back here positioned, and put a couple bolts back here to hold it in place. Once we got 4 bolts in, it won't budge. We can drill all the holes. Also, to get the rivets into that piece of C-channel down on this side, we're gonna have to take this whole exhaust tip off. And so that's gonna be, looks like 6 bolts, no big deal. Okay, I got these two with just regular nuts on them, not the nylon locking nuts, because we're going to take them out and use the nylon lock nuts once we have everything glued down. But these are just temporary to hold everything in place. Here we're underneath the hole. You can see where those 2 bolts are in. They're back about 2 inches back because we're going to have a skid plate that comes over here and bolts down right there. So I spent 18 bucks or so on this piece of C-channel that I cut up. It's a 3/4 inch inside diameter. This is square tube that I already had. It's 3/4 outside. This is too big for both sides. So I think we're just gonna use this square tube. We're gonna make this square tube work. There's going to be a gap just because of the shape of the ski hull and the main hull. There's going to be a gap here. Zoom in. See that? It is that way on both sides. So I actually picked these up the other day. I was kind of foreseeing something like that. And I got these composite shims. They look like they're wood plastic. I don't know. They're mostly plastic is the main thing, so we don't want them to rot out. Then I'll probably end up just drilling through everything and just bolt everything straight through. Probably be the best way to do it. There's gonna be a gap in here as well. We use little shims for that and stuff too. So it's just little stuff like that, little details where we need to fill in some gaps and make sure it stays in place with bolts or rivets. So we'll get that worked on here. We're running out of daytime today, but we've made some good progress.